Hello, friends. Welcome to Cohesion Through Chaos. I'm going to do a quick tarot reading. I introduced a concept of a body, mind, spirit tarot reading that I have developed over the past 5 years. And it's not like I have been studying away at this thing and I thought, oh, it would be such a great marketing technique. It's just something that came to me. It just kind of fell in my lap, we could say. All right. So I do a deck associated with the body, then one associated with the mind, and then one associated with the spirit. And this was the crappy deck that I was using. I got it at Five Below. I do not like it. And I kind of want to retire it, okay? Because I don't really like it. And then I was like, oh, well, I have some other tarot decks. And this one I was given by a tattoo artist because I had given his wife like tons of my decks that I wasn't using them. So I thought, oh, what better use of a tattoo tarot deck than reading for the body portion of this reading? Okay, so I'm going to pause it and we're just going to get right into it. Okay. All right, hold up. All right, let's just take a real quick look, just coming right out the box, what they're showing us. And the Queen of Swords, she's a fucking beast. She, I don't know. Do you want to just go up to her and be like, hey, you seem kind of nice. Do you want to like hang out? Would you take advantage of her? Would you? Could you? Did you? Maybe that's what turned her into that. Okay. So that was the at the bottom of the deck that's in reference to the body. In the mind, we have Three of Pentacles, and that's like working towards something with others. It doesn't have to just be like three people. It's that you are working in harmony to build a physical thing to bring abundance in because you're all in the same mindset. All right. And then Page of Wands, that's coming from the spirit world saying like, holla, I got something special for you. Okay. So I'm going to knock the energy. I don't know why. It's just, I see other people do it. It feels good. All right. And then I'm going to take you through just a couple of other things that I do. I do not have a lighter on me right now. So we're not going to set the sage on fire, but I do have this gorgeous sage. Just smelling it makes life better. So you should get some around. I know some people are sensitive to burning sage. Here's some sea salt for me, some for you. And so they have like an allergic reaction to it. And because it's really strong. So sometimes I used to get Goddess Provisions, which is like a subscription box. Okay. And here's some Florida water. That would be for you too if you were with me. I just noticed that the time said 234 on it. 2 minutes and 34 seconds. That's a big old ascension number that we have right now. So we are stepping up out of the muck and starting to see the light, right? Of spring. Okay. So I'm just going to keep moving forward because I'll blah, blah, blah as I'm trying to make sure that you understand, overstand all the things that like I'm doing, but you don't really care. I do. All right. So just at the cut, they all kind of wanted to separate. The Empress, we already saw the Queen of Swords. We know that she was going to show up on the cut. And the Hermit. The Empress and the Hermit. The Hermit, I don't know why, but in this concept, it makes me think of like a baby. Is a baby kind of not a hermit? Like, it's this thing that's developing in isolation, but it's not in a vacuum, right? It's got like nourishment. The Hermit, it has nourishment from its own wisdom. The light it casts, it can only cast a light to see where it's going. It's got this like wand of creativity that's okay. And she's got the one, the Empress is pregnant. She's got wings. All right. So anyway, what that tells me is that like, don't be afraid if you have been in isolation. It means that you have been birthing something like a baby in the womb. You are a baby in the womb. Okay. Well, all right. The moon. Let's see. That one seemed to want to come out too. So in the body realm, things are not appearing yet. Okay. They are not appearing in the light. Okay. Let's see what we got at the bottom. The Emperor. So we just had the Empress at the cut. Now we got the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. And he's like overseeing. The Emperor is overseeing your physical world right now, okay? And the Emperor is like as if there's kings in the deck, okay? There's a King of Swords, Cups, Wands, Pentacles, okay? But the Emperor is like the one who gives the king's direction, okay? He is the one that kind of all things flow down from in the earthly world. All right. So these were the two cards that fell out. We have the Moon, which means that it's not being seen, like, and we have the Queen of Coins. All right. So you have feminine energy on your side, which is, look at that. Like the moon is it's almost like the symbol of the Queen of Coins. Does it not look like a coin in the sky? If you look at our coins, a quarter, an American quarter, do they not have a face on them, right? Don't we talk about the man in the moon? But isn't the moon a feminine presence? Isn't it a feminine word like la luna, right? In Spanish, I can never remember the Arabic word for it, but al-nur, al-sol? No. Al-nur is the moon, and that is a masculine or a feminine word. Sur? Is that? I don't know. If you speak Arabic, let me know what the word is for sun, because I can only remember al-nur. Okay, so anyway, the universe holds the moon, correct? Right? Like this, as if it's like you're seeing it like this, but it's like feminine energy. And also, it's like a full moon is supposed to symbolize sort of this moon goddess getting ready to give birth, like the Empress that we saw. Okay. So everything that is meant for you, it is like in the darkness being held just for you to look at and know that that's yours. Now, most people look at abundance and it looks like big houses and like you want sunshine because you want to be like in your pool and all this other stuff. It's like, no, the mysteries of the dark are the things that people are afraid of. And that is where in your physical world, you are not scared. Or this is, I already know these readings are for me. So I'm just going to tell you, I am not scared. Hell, like what do we got right there? The moon. The reason why I got this years and years and years ago is because I thought, boy, if I'm ever going to need a background, that's the one that I want because it makes me comfortable. Okay. Now in the mind space, we already looked. We have the Three of Pentacles at the bottom, but let's do a little shuffling and then we'll move on with it. I can show you what I'm doing. It's just so irrelevant because I'm going to show you anyway. But let's see. I'm just afraid to knock everything over. And I got cords all coming from all over the computer. Okay. And I do like to chew gum. It's very, very helpful for me. I want to show you, we got the King of Pentacles, right? So we just had the Queen. So the point is that the previous reading that I did, I was like crazy chewing gum. But I need that. I have to like be moving all the time. And so it helps me. So I'm not going to apologize for doing it. I'll just make sure that if I'm like crazy chewing, because you don't hear it in the microphone, you just see me chewing. So I'll make sure that I have my camera looking at the cards. But anyway, so look at these. We had the Emperor and we had the Empress. We had the Queen of Pentacles and now the King of Pentacles. Now what we've got here is I always want to make sure I do this. I check my numbers because, dude, I will say the craziest stuff. In the video that I made with the Anger is a Gift, I had said that the card, I don't remember what it was, but instead of adding 1 + 9, because it was a 19 card, I had said, if you add 1 + 9, you get 8, right? It's like, because my brain will it'll see what it's meant to see. And that's part of the thing is if you watch spiritualists or, if you watch a lot of tarot readers, sometimes they will mispronounce things or they'll say another word instead of like what they were intending to say. And they're like, well, maybe that's what spirit wanted me to say. And that is a fact. That is what's happening. It's like, my mouth doesn't recognize, my brain doesn't recognize that I'm saying the wrong thing. That's why sometimes, because I speak with such confidence, I will convince people of the wrong thing because they're like, well, everything else that she said was right. So I'll just like trust her on that one. So please don't believe that 1 + 9 is 8. My brain must have been like subtracting it if you go back and watch the other one. But just know that I am going to like catch myself because I watch the stuff back. I do not edit. I won't edit. But what I will do is like put a timestamp and say like what I actually meant to say. Okay. So if you see my own comments on my own videos, that's what I'll be doing. So the 9 of Pentacles is like personal fulfillment. It's personal abundance because a woman understands the importance of patience for a garden to grow, right? Like the Empress, this is like the Empress. The Empress is sort of like this spiritual pregnant woman, whereas like this is what happens in real life when you wait for things to come to fruition. Okay. That is the benefit of patience. All you got to do is sow some seeds. That's all you have to do. Even if you don't tend to them every day, as long as you get them in the ground, you have the opportunity to like catch up and tend to what works, what grows well, what flourishes. So overseas, it's springtime right now. I'm the type that like they'll tell you on the back of the seed packets, like, put 4 or 5 in and then thin them down. I'm like, no, the life of every little plant is important. But now I understand the importance of that. It's like, no, the reason why seeds are so abundant and so inexpensive is because not everyone is meant to be a strong plant that can survive the whole season. Okay. So that's why you're doing this little survival of the fittest, like Darwin would say, which isn't, history's a mess. Okay. But anyway, she is friends with nature. She is friends with this like vulture or whatever they call them, the bird that somebody wears on their hand. That they keep the head cover over so it can't see. Yeah. I don't know, what are they called? They're not vultures. Or maybe they are. I don't know. They're not. Okay, what's up? What's up? There's that one. There's this one. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. We have at the bottom, we have the magician. This is what I was saying about the 8 yesterday, was that like if you add 9 plus 1, it becomes 8. And then if you turn it on its side, it's an infinity loop. Okay, if you subtract 9 minus 1, and that is not how numerology is done, though if it speaks to you in that way, don't worry about what the critics will say. Don't worry about what the traditionalists will say. We are moving into new times where we're supposed to integrate these different things that we have learned from the past and what you know that you're feeling, hearing, knowing, sensing. We have Wi-Fi now. Don't tell me that like things are happening the same way that they were when all we had was fucking rotary telephones. Okay, it's not. It's different. You are supposed to, if you're trying to learn traditional crafts of like energy healing or somatic body stuff or just anything in that realm where it had a very firm sense of tradition and like you sort of get shamed if you don't follow that tradition, that's just a reflection of what was going on from the outside world. They had to create like secret societies and very specific ways to do things because they were trying to be elitist, just like the rest of the world was. If you are an elitist and you have like a sacred way of following orders and creating rules, then not everybody can be in your group. It's not like that. We are trying now to figure out how to include everybody based on everything that we know now, because what we have in common is our emotions. All right. That is the only thing that we all have in common, but they are not sparked by the same environments and the same things. Okay. So you have to overstand that there's so much information out there right now, and there's so much more information within you. All right. So okay, so here we are at the mind. The mind is powerful. The Hierophant is right behind it. Holy shit, the wheel. Okay, I won't keep going down deeper into the deck. All I'm saying is that these are fucking powerhouses. These are major arcana, okay? This is like the spiritual holder of court. He's like the ultimate teacher because he's the one who knows the truth. He is like the counterpart to the high priestess. She uses complete intuition to know. So she doesn't get her feathers ruffled, all right? She does not let anybody tell her that she's wrong, okay? And there was the 10 of Pentacles, right? We were just looking at the 9 of Pentacles. Who's this? Who's this? The Fool? The first card? The first card of the tarot deck, the 0 card. You are in a new fucking mindset because you let yourself have your own goddamn freedom, all right? The wheel turned. The wheel of fortune turned, okay? If you don't believe that, there's a show on Amazon Prime, right? Called The Wheel of Time. My friend Mike introduced me to it. And I was like, bro, I can't believe it. These are books that he's been reading since he was a kid. And what they show in The Wheel of Time is the power of feminine energy, okay? They're almost showing like Reiki, energy healing, but they're showing it in this way of like this sort of dramatized Hollywood type way where you can see what's going on, right? And they just came out with a new season like 2-3 weeks ago, maybe like 4 or 5 now. But anyway, so I'm telling you that the stuff that we have access to right now is so different than the shit that we used to have access to, right? Like channels 2, 4, and 7, 29, 49, right? It was like CBS, NBC, the PBS, those were the only things that you could watch. And when they were done, when they didn't have any more shit, they like just shut their channel off and you're watching ant races, okay? Or snow, whatever you want to call that. Guess it depends on where you grow up. But stop and take time to think about what is going on. All right. This one kind of flew out in the upside down, right? So we had it show up at the bottom of the deck when we had just taken them out of the boxes. But so it's like, you don't have to think about it anymore. It's in the upside down. You don't have to think about this shit anymore. You don't have to think about like, who can I work with? What can I do? It's out of your thoughts. It never was in your control. It's just that the world will teach you that you have to create a plan and you have to do this. And if you don't succeed at that plan, then you're fucked up and you're weak. It's like, nah, bro, I am not weak at all. And the reason why I didn't succeed at my plans is because people didn't want to keep up with me, right? When something went wrong in my life and I tried, like, I'm just trying to always like, whatever. I won't get into it. So, but they were not willing to do it. It's like if my ideas were a little bit radical because I was moving towards the future when I was going to school for teaching. Okay, so we would have homework assignments to like create a thing for kids and blah 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 blah. It's sort of free form, do what you want. So I'm always thinking, because I was trained in like business and technology and multiple languages and all these different things. So I'm always thinking in terms of like, what do children really engage with and what is going to happen in the future? Because children are the best at learning new technology because they don't have some dumb old brain that is like, but I don't understand how to do it because it's not the way I learn. So my teachers would never like the assignments that I would create, but the kids would love them. And the actual teachers of those children in the classes that I taught in, they were like, dude, you are like a natural in this. It's like, I wish I could just keep you in my classroom. But my college was like, you don't deserve to be in teaching. You shouldn't be a teacher. This is like obviously not your thing. My car flooded, so they didn't want to make up the missed time with me. Okay, so go fuck yourself, y'all. I'm the fool, okay? I'm going out on my journey. Nobody's opinion gets to matter in what I choose to do. I do not care, okay? I can influence you if you want. I can inspire you to like move in your own way, but don't you ever try to copy me and think that that's a thing that works, okay? I am so sorry to my cousin Bethany because I do not remember this, but she used to like follow me around when we were kids. And I was like, if you follow me around, I'm going to kill you. And I was probably like 5 and she was like 4, or I was 6 and she was 5 or whatever. I do not remember saying that to her. I just remember I couldn't stand people following me around and asking me questions, because whenever people would do that, they would be like, you're weird or you're wrong or whatever. So I'm like, I'll do whatever it takes to be in isolation, even if it meant being a bitch to my like cousin, which I would never want to actually hurt somebody. But now she's passed on. She passed on because of cancer. And I blame that on the society that fed her head with the fact that like COVID's a real thing and this and that. And it's like, I couldn't go and see her because I wouldn't get a vaccine and I wouldn't let my kids get a vaccine. So I missed out on the last opportunities that I had to spend with her because I abided by what she wanted. And I should have said, fuck that. We're going to see you. I don't care, because I missed out on that. Okay. So fuck that. Fuck that. Okay. Fuck you. I won't do what you tell me. You know who that is? Go look it up. If not, I'll see if I can put it on this. All right. So Two of Wands is a new world based on what you are creating. Okay. Yeah, there's another wand there, but you don't need it. You don't need it. You see, you have the world in your hands when you hold on to this growth, this wand of creative growth. Okay. And that is what turns you in to the King of Pentacles. Nobody can fucking touch you. Nobody can come and ask you for money. You're like, oh, you want money? You want money? You work for my kingdom. Okay. How about that? Because the jobs that I create for my kingdom are the only things that are necessary for us to get by. We are not just going to go and work, right? There's like, the story, My Ishmael, and they were talking about like how, the people were dancing. They had to like dance like 4 hours a day in order to supply the gods with entertainment of what they needed, so the gods would supply them with enough food to eat. It was something like that, okay? And then somebody got greedy and they were like, well, if we dance more, then we'll get more food, okay? And so is capitalism. That is what happens. What are you going to do with an excess of food? Well, you got to create packaging for it. You got to create a place where animals are not going to get to. It is nothing but stress. If you follow the rules of God and you put in a very minimal amount of work just to get by, it might seem like difficult work, right? If you're thinking about a homestead, if you're thinking about a commune or just like a community of people who are like working and living off the land as if they were a tribe, right? Because there are still tribes out there in this world. Like, that's all they're doing. They're putting in minimal amount of effort. You want proof? Go and look at like these YouTubers, these white dudes who go and visit these black tribes off in wherever they're at. These dudes are fucking smoking cigarettes. I'm talking about like the tribal members. They're smoking cigarettes. Look at that. Strength is just falling out of the deck. I'm just trying to like shuffle it back up. But that the concept of the strength card is that she's not the lion. She is a woman who is so strong that she can tame the lion, okay? And she can just walk up to it and pet it. That is a woman who is totally disempowered, and that's because she's in a world of broken rules, as in that she's not breaking the rules. It's that the rules are broken and how best to create a society. It creates a prison cell. It creates a mental prison cell so that you can be controlled by the powerful people of this world with a fucking sign, with a light up thing stretched across the road. And holy shit, if traffic lights go out, what chaos ensues, how expensive all that stuff is, how much time is taken up from all the people who have to go out and fucking direct traffic. Are you kidding me? My ears. Okay. Let's move on to the spirit realm. Okay. So we had the Page of Wands, and that is like a new, where I cut it, it's on the Queen of Cups. And where also it was being cut is the Knight of Pentacles. So it's like, okay, I get exhausted from speaking. So I'm just going to keep going. All right. I don't need to do all this explanation. We'll just see what's up. At the bottom of the deck is what I'm seeing is, it's heartbreak. It's heartbreak from mental fucking chatter. Staying in mental spaces, worrying about like, did I do the right thing? It's like, God's like, bro, the only heartbreak that there ever is when you are stuck in your mind and you are not hanging out with me. Okay. God will not let you feel heartbreak. Because heartbreak only occurs in your thoughts. Okay. I don't care what real things have happened to cause it. That's like those things happen so that you can form a stronger bond with God so that you know to trust him. All right. Or it. Well, you know, I just call it the animator. That is the one term that I have come up with. The video just paused. That tells me that my audio and visual has been screwed up and it just righted itself. But now I'm looking at it, it says 2222. So obviously it was supposed to get my attention for a reason. So yeah, I think let's just go ahead and read out what I got here. At the bottom of the deck, there is the Six of Swords that is moving forward, moving away from the thoughts, getting the fuck out of there because it's never helped you in the past. Okay. It has never helped anybody just to carry burdens. Oh shit. Look at what's here again. And this. Okay. So it's a heartache. This is all about movement. This is the more important thing is that somebody's wanting to sit on this dumb shit of like, I am more hurt by this than you are because you just flew away and I want to stay in my thoughts about it. Go ahead. Stay in your thoughts about it. See if you're the one doing. There was in yesterday's reading or like the other reading that I did, there was a Seven of Swords card and it's not in the mix right now. Okay. It's not in the mix. But in that card, there are two crows. There is one that is sitting on a sword, okay, just by itself, and the sword is going into the ground, all right? And then there's another crow flying with three swords, okay? So it's like the crow that's flying is doing all kinds of hard work because it's flying away thinking like, I'm doing all this work to like make my life better or to get back to you or to get you back in my life. I'm just going to keep struggling with these thoughts of like how, you were wrong, right? Let's talk about this in terms of my relationship. Like, dude thought I was wrong because of just the way that I live my life. He thought I was wrong. Okay. So, he broke up with me many times in his own fucking twisted ways in where he was in conflict between his head and his heart. Okay. So he thinks that I'm wrong for letting him go. So he's doing all kinds of like, probably all kinds of like texting and communication about how I was always wrong and he was the one who cared more about the relationship because look at how stressed out he is. Look at how hard he's working. And it's like, nah, bro. It's like we started out on the same foundation, same beliefs, all this different stuff. And then things shifted because he wasn't truly in belief with his heart. His mind didn't truly believe in his heart. And so when it came to going into action for the words of his heart, he was scared. Okay. How many of you experience this on a daily basis within yourself? We all do. That's why he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but also I am not wrong. Everybody is right and everybody is wrong. Everybody. Okay. It's just based on the perspective of from which the story is being told. So I'm telling you, this person is like, you never cared about me because you're just flying off. And this person is like, yeah, if I come back over there, you are going to engage in this unhealthy argument that you're just trying to prove me wrong, right? Because you think that it's better to focus on our thoughts that bring up our emotions instead of our emotions that are reflecting trauma that has happened over and over and over again that is not time bound to the moment. It's time bound to way before. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles, right? And it is a slow moving knight. It's not moving at all, right? It's like this horse is not moving. And that's because it fucking arrived. It took a long ass time to get to you. It is the slowest moving knight in the deck. But it's because you had to come and meet it. It was in the place that God prepared for you. This is a spiritual card, all right? Because this is the deck that I read from Spirit. Judgment Day, speaking of God, judgment is not the same as judgmental. So when you see this word, don't think of the feeling that you get when you think of somebody being judgmental and that you're like, only God can judge me. Well, first of all, Tupac was right when he said that. Only God can judge you, okay? Because your heart, everybody has compassion within their heart, but they got a fucked up brain. They got a fucked up mind because it's been programmed by society. Okay. So Judgment Day is all about, could you discern the difference between my voice in your heart and society's voice in your head? Okay. The truth of your heart is your animator's truth. That's what I was talking about, is that if I'm always trying to break things down to something that we can all agree on. There is something that creates the world around us, right? What does an animator do? An animator creates a world through art, right? You can't create that world. You can rebuild a house, you can like plant a tree, but you did not draw the trees. So you know what I'm saying? Like something higher than us created the concept of trees. Now we are the ones who call it a tree. We named it a tree. Can you look at a tree and not think tree, right? Can you try, even if you try to dissect it, it's like, okay, so this isn't a tree, but it's like a bunch of like leaves on a trunk, on branches, it's got roots. Okay. You're still identifying it as a tree with labels that we gave to a tree. What are roots? What's the bark? What are the leaves? What are these things doing? They are actions. They are functions for the life of the tree that creates a ripple effect. Okay. Where trees are, we have clean air. All right. There's like a little bit more oxygen because the trees consume our carbon dioxide that we breathe out. We breathe in the oxygen. Okay. There's just so much to speak about, but all I'm talking about is when it comes to Judgment Day, you will have to go through what is called a life review. When you pass over, when this body expires and you become just the energy in which you can only contain a little tiny bit of right now while you're in your body, when you become just energy, and there's no barriers, there's no three-dimensional physical barriers keeping you from all the energy of the rest of the world. You have to go through a life review of every single person that you came into contact with in your life. And instead of just like reviewing the situation, you feel what they felt. And so you get to feel all of the bad feelings that you gave to other people. And you also get to feel all the good feelings that you gave to other people. So you're going to find out that when you smiled at a stranger who was like just walking down the street, that you were the one person in the world that they needed to smile at them that day because they were feeling like shit. Okay. But when you go and look at like all the days that you came home to your partner and you didn't smile at them, but you're like, oh, they know that I love them because like I'm here in the same house with them, bro. That is not fucking love. Love is smiling at people. It's being humble. It's dropping your ego. Okay. That is love. That's how you got that person attracted to you in the first place, is by doing all those things. You think that you're going to tell somebody how great they are and what you want to do for them, and then you start showing it, like you take somebody out on dates and you show up and you're kind to their family. And that's like, I think when it starts out, you're doing it because your heart really wants to do that, because you care about this person. You want to care about everything that they care about. Okay. But once you start hearing somebody's own self-judgment and like how all those people made them feel that way about themselves, then you start to get critical. Critical. Is that it? It's not just that. It's not that. It's a little bit compassionate, but it's a little bit critical, because you are sort of supporting what your partner is thinking and saying. But then when you support them, let's say that there's something going on with the family and they want you to go to it, but then you bring up the fact of like, I thought you just told me that you weren't in alignment with that because they did all these other things. But because we're all so fucking misaligned inside, it's like, well, yeah, but it's still my family. They're important to me. And it's like, so are they important to you because they're good to you? Or are they important to you because you just want to show face and seem like you're not the troublemaker, right? Everybody's out of alignment. So we have to understand that we are hurting the people around us because we're treating them in this confusing way that they seem to want to be treated in. And I'm just telling you, the easiest way to get through this world is to be humble. When you see somebody who you want to compliment them. Compliment them, okay? Don't be jealous and judge them. That is a lower version of admiring somebody for something. Take the high ground and compliment them. The reason why it's a little bit harder to do is because the reward is so much fucking better. That's like in a previous video, I was saying like, if you feel like you want ice cream, what you're saying to yourself is that you want to feel better in this moment. But what's going to feel better? A salt bath or ice cream in the long term, okay? They're both for comfort. They're both for the purpose of comfort. But which one is more sustaining and actually has health benefits to it? All right. So you need to give yourself some options. When you're feeling tired, when you're feeling like you're just wanting to go towards a craving, an addiction, talk to somebody, something like that. You want to talk to somebody who's going to give you attention. Do not go for low grade attention. Go and talk to a fucking religious expert, talk to not even like a psychologist. That's not what you need. You need a professional best friend if there's such a thing. If not, come to my channel. That's what I do. My other channel too, As the Crow Flies 144. I am a professional best friend, mother, wife, all these different things. That's what I am, because all I'm going to do is support you with unconditional love, and I am going to re-engage your inner heart. I'm going to re-engage you with the things that you care about, because you need somebody to encourage you, instead of being like, hey, I've really been thinking about doing this thing. And then the way that you present it to people is like, I'm thinking about doing this business. Like, how do you think it would go? That's basically what you're doing with your body language and the tone of your voice. You're asking for approval so that you can finally put something out that people will support. But listen, I'm telling you, if you try to get other people's approval, it's going to skew what your natural gift from our animator is, okay? It was drawn into you, and the animator is going to draw what it looks like step by step, but you got to be willing to say yes to make the step forward, okay? Because once you do that, you don't have to worry about judgment. You don't have to worry about judgment. You are being judged for how closely you are listening to your heart. That's all. And then how quickly you walk out those actions, because they change rapidly, okay? And then you are placed in this laurel wreath, right? This was like this wreath I made for the world card, which is like completing a cycle. If we find the world card at some point, you'll see it. But it's also very symbolic of this. It actually kind of like looks more similar. But anyway, the Six of Wands is about being recognized, being held up on high for something that nobody else could do, but in this creative way, in this way that has been blessed by God. But you have got to know that once you get up there, people with lower judgment who work with their mind instead of their heart, they're going to be like, look at this bitch being up here. Like, she's only up here because she's got blue eyes. I'm talking about what people like tell me in my life, right? And it's like, all right, you think that that's why I'm up here? You just wait. You like do not know what I have challenged myself to do in this life. But once I get up there, I'm going to challenge you to run the same courses that I have, but I'm going to give you a more compassionate way of doing it, not joining the army and going to war and being rejected by every single human that ever said they cared about you. King of Swords, all right? I just got this sign for Saturn. So I don't know if Saturn return is like relevant to you, but the King of Swords is like, oh, there it is. I thought he was standing on a sword. That's the Emperor. That's the Emperor card. It's like, look at that. A crow does not need to have hands to get that sword to stand up straight. That's because that's a sword of truth. That is a sword of like clear thinking, clear words. It's in complete balance. So when it's set down like that, it stands up on its own. And that is the power that you have from your spirit. It works into your mind. Your spirit, which is way out here, moves into your little brain, which is very, very tiny, but your mind is completely expansive. It's infinitely expansive. Okay. So your spirit works to try to work with your expansive mind to realize how powerful you are. And the most power that you can have is to create balance, because then you don't really have to hold the sword of truth. You just have access to it. Okay. It's like the most powerful words and communication and thoughts, the most empowering ones that you can have, because the balance was achieved through a king. It's like he had to take this sword through battles to get it to a throne, to get it to sit on the throne of balance. Okay. All right. I'll leave it off at that. That was freaking amazing. Okay. I hope you tune in. I hope you like it. I hope you'll comment, and I'll see you back soon. Ciao for now.